You want me to introduce myself? I've gone by many names and titles during my journey. Although each one is more eminent than any ordinary mortal could imagine, they're all just water under the bridge to me now. Call me whatever you like. Go ahead. Let me see what you can come up with. Don't disappoint me. There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever. You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem. There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence. You want to use my hat as an umbrella? The audacity to even make that request. You're so happy just to see the sun again. How childish. How irritating. Fundamentally speaking, there's little difference between snow and rain, yet people lavish praise only upon the former. Fate can be truly arbitrary. A simple breeze like this, even you can conjure it, right? Rise and shine, sleepyhead. The sun's already in your eyes. Don't tell me you actually thought I'd wake you up like that. I have no need for food. Save me the trouble and take care of yourself, and that small thing floating next to you. Finally, another boring day is drawing to a close. What? Can't fall asleep with me around? A puppet consumed by a raging fire will leave behind ashes. As for what will emerge from them, I'll leave that kind of thing to fate. Obsessing over something that's destined to be ever out of one's reach is just a waste of time. I have more important things to attend to at the moment. So, you're still stewing over our run-ins from before. Well, what are you going to do about it? Take your time. I'm in no hurry. I'll never be one of the good guys. I'm just here to pay my dues after what you've done for me. But what about you? Shouldn't you come up with some excuse for our meetings? If one of your friends mistakes you for collaborating with the enemy, you're on your own. Although the idea of divine favor makes me a little ill, I'm not going to be picky about a new source of power. You think there's some kind of meaning behind the element of animo? Why did that thought even occur to you? The gods aren't guided by any kind of rationality or moral compass. Haven't I shown that to you already? I've got nothing. Ask me anything if you want. If a question is interesting enough, I may give you an answer. Look, the birds are showing off their plumage. The squirrels are busy hoarding food, and humans are laboring for their livelihoods. Truly, simple animals don't need anything complicated to be fulfilled. While I still had value as a pawn, she might have had other reasons to keep me alive. It's certainly possible that it was because she's wise or benevolent, or happened to see a hint of loneliness within me. You think I'm trying to think the worst of her? Ha! Did you really expect anything else? In case you've forgotten, I'm no saint. She completely neglected her own creation, and to add insult to injury, she said it was because she couldn't bring herself to intervene in my fate. Everyone praises her for her kindness and benevolence, but they forget that love is also a form of sin. What if she's just trying to compensate for something? The Jester is a survivor of Conria. Besides that singular fact, I know very little about him, and never had any kind of close association with him. He seems to want something from me, though. In the past, he assigned to me many important tasks, including a number of trips to the Abyss. The ever-righteous captain, the brave and fearless captain, the nigh invincible captain. Even my mechanical ears demand maintenance after listening to so many compliments from the members of the Fatui. Don't you think that possessing absolute righteousness is actually a latent danger? And that's without taking his great personal strength into account. It's a pity that Lesser Lord Kusanali already forced him to erase so many of his segments. The joy I would have derived from slicing them apart, one by one. Let me ask. What should you do if you were to encounter a damsel who is oblivious and innocent at any given time, and unconcerned and unfeeling in any given situation? If it were me, I could at least challenge her to a fight. But if it were you, with your conscience, I would stay away from her. A wolf in sheep's clothing. To exert a higher level of control over people, she puts on a graceful and cordial front. Most of those who have seen her true crazy self have gone poof. Only someone as dense as Child would think the rooster's looking after him and his family out of the goodness of his heart. Although the mayor has indeed done a number of things for their benefit, anyone with a brain would be able to tell that the underlying meaning is, your entire family is in my hands. She has a terrible personality and cares for nothing outside of her own research. But even with that amount of dedication, she still produced a copious amount of garbage and could only secure a ranking that's still one whole place beneath my own. How pitiful. Oh, the 9th rank guy. He's obsessed with the idea of fair exchange, to the point of wanting to overthrow the natural imbalance between gods and humans. But I guess it's just how ordinary mortals are like. It's easy for them to come up with pointless delusions. Honestly, it's nothing worth writing home about. Just like how there's also nothing impressive about his abilities or choice of partner. Anyone who chooses to work closely with a doctor is sure to meet a nasty end. He's simple of mind and not that strong of body. Naming him to the lowest ranked seat lowered the Harbinger's collective prestige. Thankfully, I'm no longer part of that group. Nothing remained in her ashes. I have no interest in those who have lost their future. A smooth-talking yokai. Though she pretends to care about humans to gain the favor of her god, all she seeks are entertaining ways to pass her time. You speak of the descendant of the Kaitahara clan? Then isn't he... Wait, he also possesses an animo vision? And even managed to take on the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hirotachi? What makes you think I know him? The fact that he's always following me around and asking for a closer look at my hat? We've barely spoken before. The first time we met, he came up and asked me if I was Hat Guy. Last time I checked, judging someone by their appearance is superficial. Somehow, everyone knows the name Hat Guy now. You want to learn more about me? How ridiculous. Don't you know that's only asking for trouble? Oh, I'm well aware that many people will want to seek me out and settle the grudges they've built against me in my past life. Fine by me. Come one, come all, I say. As a matter of fact, I'm somewhat looking forward to it. I once thought that deification would allow me to get rid of all my pointless emotions, but I've since abandoned that view. Anger, whether it be from others or myself, is too convenient and useful as a tool. How can some people just never become angry? I find that impossible to even imagine. Do they just not have a single mean bone in their bodies? When I entered Irminsul, there was only one thought in my mind. I wish I'd never been born at all. Irminsul responded to my wish, but didn't bring me the outcome I desired. The fate of this world hasn't changed a single bit when it comes to playing cruel tricks on its prisoners. You and I have crossed paths in the past, but our journeys will eventually diverge. Who knows what will happen next? Let's just wait and see. Hobbies? Those are for idle bodies who have the free time to think about such things. Do I look like I have any interest in distractions? I'm trying to figure out a way to get rid of you, so I can go commit atrocities. Wait, did you think I was being serious? Do you have some tea? The more bitter, the better. It leaves the most fascinating aftertaste. I'm no fan of dongo, or any other sticky sweets that make me feel like my teeth are fusing together. Keep them to yourself. It's okay. Guess this is one of the few things you're good at. Not bad. You actually made something edible. You want to poison me? Are you so dumb as to have forgotten that I'm not human? Give me your hand. There's no need to be nervous. I'm just taking you to a vantage point. How is it? The scenery here should be quite breathtaking. There's no need to thank me. I see little point in it. I can see the great deal of effort you put forth. The wind is blowing this way. What did you do?
My name is Noelle, maid of the Knights of Favonius, and it's my pleasure to be joining you on your adventure today. Should you encounter any problems at all at any point throughout your journey, please do not hesitate to call me, and I will be delighted to provide you with my full assistance. Yes, starting right now. What do you need? Leave it to me, all of it, whatever it is. What exactly is it? I didn't quite catch your request. You seem tired. Would you like some tea? I'll brew you some. Do you take sugar? 1 cube or 2? Whenever you need me, I'll be there. Oh dear, everyone's laundry is still on the line. May I be excused to fetch it in? Please stay indoors until the storm passes. I will deal with any urgent outdoor business. Such fair weather. Why don't we do a bit of sunny work? Oh, what sort of work is that, you ask? Well, anything that makes you feel bright and sunny, too. Can you hear the Animo Archon's voice on the breeze? It calms me down whenever I get flustered. Good morning. Breakfast is served. I will be on hand the whole time. Should you find that anything is not to your taste, please do not hesitate to let me know. Ready for your tea break? Please wait here while I get it ready. Oh, yes. I also made lighter-than-air pancakes. You simply must try one. It's my specialty. Everyone has free time in the evening, and that is when I am busiest. Where have Amber's washed hairbands been placed? How many new eye patches did Kaya buy? Keeping track of all these things is a maid's responsibility. Please, get some rest. You must be tired from today's adventure. I should head back to the Knights of... sorry? You want me to watch over you until you fall asleep? I mean, of course it's no problem. But, you're not just teasing me, are you? In my job, I do the exact same things every day. A far cry from being a true knight, that's for sure. But ultimately, this is all part of my training. And when it comes to training, actions speak louder than words. I'm a bit useless in an argument because I can't really explain my reasoning clearly. People find that hard to understand, so instead, I try to just get on with my work in my own way. But then, they call me stubborn. All I try to do is convince people with results instead of trying to talk them round. Is that really stubborn of me? I am devoted to what I do, but make no mistake, I devote myself freely. A maid, to me, is the most liberating job there is. I'm a chef, a gardener, a warrior, a guide. I can be anything you need me to be. Even when you're too busy to eat 3 square meals, never eat something if you don't know where it came from. And always maintain a balance between meat and vegetables. Oh, and no swimming right after a meal. I do hope you're not thinking, that's too much trouble, I'll just leave it to Noelle, are you? But of course, if you are, well then, just leave it to me. So I hear you're an honorary Knight of Favonius? I envy you. I suppose that makes you my senior. Anyway, it's about time someone threw you a welcome party, surely. Leave it to me. To be honest, I'm feeling a little dejected. Well, sure, this vision proves that the Archons think I'm worthy, but why is it a Geo vision? I mean, Geo's the furthest thing from Animo, and for a Knight of Favonius... I actually really like the smell of wine. I'm just not of drinking age yet. There've been a few times when I could have had a little taste if I'd wanted, and no one would ever have known. But I resisted the temptation. I feel like the first time you try it is probably really magical, so I want to save it till I'm older. A maid is required to keep everyone's secrets. That's why my favorite flower is the rose. Here in Mondstadt, the rose represents the saying, "As wine bottles are corked, so too my lips are sealed." It reminds me to... What? Roses represent love in your hometown? I had no idea the rose held such a passionate meaning. I really look up to Amber. Not only is she an accomplished knight, but she's a kind person too. She taught me how to make a Baron bunny. I keep it on my person for luck, and it looks quite all right, I think. Oh, no, please do not be alarmed. There's no risk of explosion whatsoever. I've always been curious as to how she managed to become a fully fledged knight at such a young age. I actually went to ask her for tips once, but I'd barely started talking to her when she grabbed me by the hand and took me outside the knight's headquarters to play with bombs. I thought it was some kind of training exercise at first. Oh, but Jean found us, and we both ended up in solitary confinement. Master Jean has always been my role model, both in terms of ability and dedication. She holds herself and others to the same high standards. So if there ever comes a day when I meet with her approval, it will be the ultimate acknowledgement of all my efforts so far. Until then, there's no room for complacency. At first I wanted to join his expedition party and do my part as a maid, but the Grand Master said no. It would give him more peace of mind if I stayed behind to take care of things in Mondstadt. It made me so happy to hear how much he values me. Okay, so apparently he said the same thing to a lot of people, but that doesn't change the fact that he prizes me too. He's a mysterious character. He comes and goes like the wind, and is always occupied with important business. I like the fact that he delegates some of the smaller jobs to me sometimes. It's nice to feel like part of the team, you know? What do you mean, errand runner? Well, I don't see it like that at all. Okay, well, yes, technically I run errands for him. But still, I really appreciate it. He's asked me to join the Adventurers Guild more than a few times, saying that life there would suit me better than with the Knights of Favonius. While I could help him take care of his dads like the other adventurers, the Knights hold a special meaning for me, and I'm not ready to give up on becoming one yet. No, I simply cannot accept his offer. I think she's from another world, but I don't know the details. One thing I do know, however, is that she loves the Knights of Favonius' library. She can always be found there with her nose in a book. I bring her some refreshments whenever I go in there to clean, and she always thanks me profusely. When I say profusely, I mean she goes a bit over the top, to be honest, and I actually don't understand half of what she's saying. So once when I was cleaning the library, I noticed a book on the shelf called Flowers for Princess Fischl. At the time, I assumed it was just a fantasy novel. I was so surprised to find out the main character is a real person. I could hardly believe it. She must be someone incredible to have a whole book dedicated to her. We take tea breaks together sometimes. Often she'll start humming a tune, saying inspiration has come to her. I'm not the right person to give useful feedback on anything musical, but I still love spending time with Barbara. How may I be of assistance? Oh, you just want to chat? Okay then, Well, if that's how I can help, then please feel free to chat as long as you'd like. Not a problem. I'm here to serve in whatever capacity you require. You needn't be concerned about the way I feel. Huh? More tool than maid? I disagree. A tool might help you to complete 1,000,000 tasks to a satisfactory standard, but it feels nothing. I, on the other hand, feel a strong sense of achievement every time I do something for you. These treats are for me? Oh, no, I couldn't, really. Well, then I'll make some for you, too. I'll go right now, right this instant. Half an hour. Okay, maybe an hour, tops. You can busy yourself with other things first, and I'll be sure to deliver them right to you, hot and fresh out of the oven. I spend all my days handling the most trivial of matters, but so long as it helps you in your adventure, or makes your life easier in some small way, I couldn't be happier. That's because each time I get a thank you, it makes me feel like my work at least has some meaning, no matter how insignificant it seems. Even though I mostly work for the Knights of Favonius, I'm always looking out for ways I can help more people. These days, though, I seem to be spending more and more of my time with you. It might be a bit selfish of me. What do you think? My hobby? I really like washing all sorts of things. Clothes, floorboards, windows, you name it. Whenever I see something dirty, I just want to give it a good old clean. It gives me such a sense of achievement. Oh, you mean the things I do in my free time? Same answer. How to get more for your Mora? Last time I went all the way to Lille, I visited every single shop to compare prices, and then carried everything back myself. I won't be doing that again, though. I was on the road for so long that Jean was convinced I'd been gobbled up by storm terror along the way. My favorite is easily a satisfying salad. The best of Mondstadt's natural produce on one plate. Highly nutritious and a low calorie count. No, I never get sick of eating it. It's delicious. I've been eating it for 10 years now. I'm not a fussy eater, but I really don't like banquets. The reason being, as the maid, I'm expected to sample every single dish on the table to ensure its quality. With just one bite of each, of course, but it all adds up. Oh, the guilt. How can you make such a simple dish taste so good? Oh, my admiration towards you just keeps growing. This tastes wonderful. Would you mind teaching me how to make this? After all, it is my duty as a maid. This is more than I normally eat in a whole day. Since you're always so busy adventuring, there must be so many little things you never get round to, surely. Well, you need not worry about them adding up, because today, I'm all yours. Your exclusive maid for the entire day. Just leave it all to me. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you a very happy birthday. What is this new power? Thank you. Now I can be of assistance to even more people. I cannot rest on my laurels. After all, I'm not even formally a knight yet. Until that day, I must work even harder.
I am Ningguang, Tianxin of Qixing. You wish to trade? You be my personal bodyguard, and I will show you how to get ahead in Liyue. Even if an antique is priceless, the happiness it brings lasts for only the moment that you obtain it. In a trade war, the perfect hunter leaves no trace. We should look for a new investment. Mora doesn't grow on trees. It's raining. Fetch an umbrella for me, would you? Nothing more than regular snowfall. One day, I'll take you to see the snow that falls over Liyue. Calm weather. Do not trust your eyes. Your eyes can lie to you. Gales like this can be the demise of fishermen, not to mention... Never mind. Morning. Report your affairs. in order of priority. Lioli Pavilion or Xingyue Kiosk, which would you prefer to go to for lunch? The tea house has no more rooms. Then come, sit in the Jade Chamber, if you can afford the price. Sure, go rest. If anything important comes up, I will be sure to send for you. Be it simple price negotiation or a full-blown trade war, momentum and bargaining chips are but minor factors. To win, you need to be first to find out what cards your opponent is holding. Your impressions of me have changed. Well, at first I required your strength, so naturally I had to be as cordial as possible. But now that we're partners bound by contract, we may do away with such pretentious formalities. I suppose you've heard enough rumors about me. What kind of person am I? I shall leave that for you to decide. Of course, your judgment will become a part of the rumor. You've been with me for some time now. Have you learned to observe? Then observe me. Observe me right down to my very core. Come forward, stand beside me. Do you see the Jade Chamber? At first it was just a room, and now it clouds Liyue. When the time comes that it hangs above all of the 7 nations, you shall stand by my side on that day too. There's no need to use a vision in affairs that Mora can solve. As far as affairs only a vision can solve go, I know of only one. Gamblers always place their bets on the next dice roll. But the bankers always have the last laugh, and they never touch a single die. The departure of Rex Lapis will be no small test for both the Qixing and the city of Liyue. Seldom has any matter kept me tossing and turning at night like recent events. Nevertheless, I shall not lose sight of my goal. There will come a day when the shadow cast by the Jade Chamber reaches every end of Teyvat. In Liyue's ancient texts, there's no shortage of mentioning the beauty of the glazed lily. But in the modern era, the flower is on the brink of extinction. Now they can only be found in Yujing Terrace, and as such come with a hefty price tag. That captain. She clearly receives the adoration of many, but will always be the first to disregard the rules. The fine she has paid would be enough to buy her a whole new ship. Perhaps you've never heard me speak like this. All that can be said has been said, both the good and the bad. But she still does as she pleases. Forget it. Keep Beidou out of my sight. Zhang Li of the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. He's very versed in a great deal of affairs. Although, such excellent pawns are of no use to me until I know their weaknesses. The second son of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. People like him can't stand the sight of me, which is only to be expected. I have no intention of troubling him either. Those who have different beliefs should not work together. That girl from One Min Restaurant. Her suspicion towards me is always written all over her face. I wonder what face she would make if only she knew how much I helped finance that restaurant. One cannot afford to be overly reliant on others, even when it comes to Ganyu. There is a Liyue saying which goes, even the most meticulous can fall prey to happenstance. When there are important affairs to deal with, it is always safer to investigate and resolve them personally. I presume you mean the girl whom Ganyu has taken under her wing. Do not worry. I have no plans to make this matter public. I am content to extend some leniency to the odd bit of mischievous maneuvering by that boat captain. One thing, though. Yao-Yao seems to have become somewhat enamored with seafood lately. You should try to convince her to include some more fruits and vegetables in her diet. The Yuhang. She has changed a lot recently. But is Liyue better off with the Yuhang we have now, or the Yuhang we used to know? Only time will tell. The acting Grand Master of Mondstadt, a strict and impeccable woman. Her flawless etiquette knows no fault. Even her letters are meticulously written and creased according to the prescribed rules. It is such easily overlooked details that offer a glimpse into the true qualities of one's character. Yanfei. I suppose you could say she's a dear rival of mine. Were she not so deft at explaining the meanders of the law and providing her clients with all sorts of cunning suggestions, it would take me many more months to identify existing loopholes in the legal codices and tighten them one by one. How is Miss Shenhe doing as of late? Please, look out for her whenever you can. I am most grateful to both of you for your assistance with rebuilding the Jade Chamber. And on a more personal note, please know that if you are ever free, a cup of the finest tea will always be waiting for you here. Yunjin. Are you able to appreciate her performances? It might be difficult at first, but I would encourage you to give it a chance. The reason I decided to invest into her opera troupe is quite simple. Elegant art forms like these deserve to be passed down to future generations. She's a very interesting character. I can say with the utmost confidence that she is someone I trust unreservedly. She handles herself impeccably, which means she stays beyond reproach. Since you both have high intelligence in common, hopefully you will get along very well. Seeing as it's you, there's no need to keep up the formalities. You can be a little more casual, but I still ask that you respect my time. If you have something to say, be concise. I have no time to waste. I've always believed that children are the most naive and innocent. The reports they give me are of the most value. So what about you? What will you have for me? I've been thinking about something lately. If I were to keep you in Liyue, perhaps, at the right time, I might be able to leverage this city to... For now, it's mere conjecture. I should really consider whether the investment is worth it some more. You can learn from me, and use Mora to make things a little easier for yourself. But remember, relationships built on Mora can only be relied on for a time. And that is why I have never brought Mora into our relationship. This is truly a great investment. Sure, no Mora has been made from it, but the time I've spent with you is already a solid return. Seems I win again. I put my money on the right person. Care for a game of Liyue Millennial? It'll give me an opportunity to see exactly how good you are as a player. Concerns. If I told you of the concerns of the Liyue Qixing, do you think your shoulders could bear the burden? And if you ever made the mistake of mentioning them to others? A slow-boiled soup of leftover chicken and pork bones drenched over some cabbage leaves. I have few culinary requirements. Having a few staple dishes like this is enough. I've come across those who demand golden crab for every meal. Though it all seems so grandiose, I really have no desire for such frivolousness. If you're ever thinking of taking me out for such a dinner, you'd be better off just giving the Mora to me directly. You have surpassed my expectations again. With some things, if you haven't grasped the essentials, all the hard work in the world can go to waste. Know what I mean? Ugh. It's the thought that counts. These are some of Liyue's finest brocades, woven from silk flowers. This one is for you, and this one... I hope that someday soon you will be able to give it to your sister, and I hope that she'll like it. I wish you both a happy birthday. There's no style in resorting to violence. It's simply the worst of all the bad decisions you could make. Cashing in time and mora for power. Interesting. This shows their true value.
Here's the Academia's Distinguished Scholar Award. This is the Sumeru Puzzlers League Lifetime Achievement Award. And there's something from the Synopsium on Ruin Mechanisms. What do you think? Got any interest in becoming my student? Just as a note, I am from the Haravatat Darshan. You'll get lost if you tried to find me in the halls of Ksharawar. 100 years have passed, yet there hasn't been any change to those dumb rules at the Academia. What did you say? Oh, I'm old now, so every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madam Faruzan, and I'll see if I can pick that up. Academic research isn't some kind of fad. Topics don't just go in and out of fashion. I haven't been a child for many, many years, so I don't see any reason to be excited about the rain. Whoa! What? There's nothing wrong with being afraid of thunder, even at an older age. How beautiful. How awe-inspiring. Achoo! Yes, and very cold-inducing as well. How cozy. A breezy open environment really is the best. Hey, how did we circle back here again? Youngster, there's nothing quite like an enthusiastic greeting to start your morning. Try to remember now. What are you supposed to say? I'm starting to get hungry. How about we go get something from the Grand Bazaar? Anything goes, as long as it's not overly innovative. Don't act so surprised. Scholars of every generation pull all-nighters for the research. After all, the night offers a precious opportunity to contemplate ideas and topics in peace. This ancient text is making my head spin. Let's call it a night here and get some rest. I'll be heading to bed as well, so good night. What is it that you would like to learn more about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of elemental monuments? Wait, did you forget to call me Madam Faruzan just now when you asked your question? I want my students to truly enjoy the study of ancient texts. If I can't find anyone like that, then I just won't take on any students. Ah, right. About finding someone to help me with my work. Well, it's pretty reasonable for students to help their mentors when they have some free time, right? I mean, even I did that back in the day. Serious question. Why don't you become my student? I'll tailor research topics to your needs and thoroughly explain everything you need to know. We can focus on practical ways to unlock modern-age puzzle mechanisms and build on that with some work on the deciphering of associated texts. I've walked the walk, so I can promise you that everything you'd learn would be a great boon for your future adventures. There's no reason not to trust me. When I was trapped, I spent so long solving puzzles that I became numb to even the flow of time. Now that I'm free again, I no longer have to face the puzzles of the world all on my own. Maybe we'll be able to spend some fun times together copying inscriptions, deciphering runes, and solving puzzles. Every minute should be savored. My illustrious resume aside, my intellectual capabilities have been acknowledged even by the Animo Archon himself. As for why I still can't find any students, well, it's not due to any faults on my part or that of my Darshan. Maybe it's a matter of timing. I also received my vision at precisely an opportune moment after all. Going forward, Ksharawar will be the only Darshan dedicated to the study of mechanisms. If you ask me, the Ksharawar scholars have gotten way ahead of themselves. When I was cracking puzzles all over Sumeru, They were still playing with rudimentary building blocks. Those geezers at Haravatat love to decline my funding requests with the excuse that my research is becoming too niche and impractical. By that logic, since we're still the Darshan with the lowest enrollment numbers, we might as well close our doors altogether. I've visited numerous ruins of all shapes and sizes and interpreted what scant texts and symbols I could find. Ruin drakes are indeed mechanisms of the highest order. Well, perhaps mechanism isn't the best word for them. You could argue that they're antiquated living organisms that have managed to survive until the present day. Knowledge is naturally something that cannot be limited or restrained. It's like how Ksharawar can utilize Haravatat's research findings. All scholars will be grateful to Lesser Lord Kusanali for releasing the academia. No, the entire city of wisdom from the shackles of selfish desires. All who thirst for knowledge are now afforded the opportunity to search for treasures in the vast sea of knowledge. One of my favorite projects is researching rainforest ruins. Oh, right. I should ask Tainari to come with me next time. It's always fun to travel with a living copy of the Rainforest Survival Guide. I must say, even though I've been around for more than 100 years, he's seen far more varieties of fungi than I've had the chance to taste. Ah, Kale. She's respectful toward her elders, diligent, and has a hard-working attitude. Truly the perfect student. Children like her deserve all the affection and praise. Tainari really has no reason to be as strict as he has been. I need to find a way to win her over. What I meant to say was, as a senior scholar, I should find ways to improve the learning environment of younger students. Sino's jokes are composed using modern words and language patterns, but I still struggle to decipher any hidden meaning from his grammar and prose. Huh? It's all just literal meanings and homophones? Really? Then those jokes don't have any substance at all. Sometimes she'll lower her head and keep her distance when she sees me. However, she's all smiles and greetings at night. I don't quite get her. Anyway, most kids in Rataoist are geniuses. A quirk or two isn't anything to concern myself with. Kave's a good kid with great potential. I had a casual chat with him once about some principles of mechanism construction. How should I put it? He's too much of an artsy romantic, but at least he has some original ideas, which is rare nowadays. I've heard that he's fallen on some hard times, so I'm planning to invite him out for a good meal once my funding gets approved. It'll happen soon, promise. I remember her. She's a courteous girl. I've only been to the Grand Bazaar a few times, but she's already remembered my name and face. And she's even tried to get the others to stop arguing with me. She really gets it. All youngsters should be more like her. Oh, you mean the new arrival? Yes, didn't he show up at the perfect time? I still don't know which Darshan he belongs to, but I seem to run into him all the time these days. Out in the streets, in the shops, at restaurants. It's like he's everywhere at once. The way he nods his head when he talks, it's like... Oh, I don't know, like... a little puppy, yes? Eloquent young fellow, too. Seems like a good egg. Anyway, are you acquainted with him? You must encourage him to enroll in my classes. Tell him Madame Faruzan will take good care of him. Interested in my story? Well, Madame Faruzan's life started more than 100 years ago, and her story covers as much ground as some major academic publications. Still curious? Good. Willingness to learn is an indispensable trait for scholars. You've got one foot in the door. Solving a truly ancient mechanical puzzle requires deciphering a deluge of ancient texts. I don't mean to boast, but they're probably on a completely different level from the ones you've solved on your adventures. Oh, don't believe me? Then why don't you pick out some of the hardest ones you've done and show them to me? If I spend more than a half an hour on any of them, it's your win. If I didn't accidentally lose myself in that King Deshret ruin, I could have contributed even more to Sumeru. Thankfully, my manuscripts and treatises were still put to good use. Those freeloading Ksharawar used them to establish the fundamentals of the study of mechanisms. I'm not called Madame Faruzan for nothing, you know. As a scholar, I should have the courage to accept failure and shoulder all of its consequences. I never wanted anyone to pity me, whether it be back then or right now. Also, don't forget that I eventually managed to solve that final puzzle by my own power and freed myself from that accursed place. Instead of pity, shouldn't people feel encouragement and inspiration from my story? My field of study is nowhere as esteemed as it used to be, and Haravatat has refused me funding more than once. Every now and then, Ksharawar will try to invite me to teach under their banner, and the conditions they've offered me are truly out of this world. More students, a higher spending limit. I still turn them down, however. No matter what, someone has to keep studying niche topics so we can expand the frontiers of humanity's knowledge. Some greedy merchants and mercenaries tried to hawk antiques of unknown origin in Port Ormos at exorbitant prices, but their goods are nothing more than secondhand trash. I bust their scams whenever I catch sight of one. My skill in antiques appraisal is probably second only to the gods of the Seven. 100 years ago, my greatest source of frustration was my inability to decipher the information engraved on ruined monuments. Now nothing irritates me more than the struggle to get funding. It's making my head hurt again. You can improve the aroma of batter several times over if you bake it in the oven. Next time we're in the kitchen, I'll make some for you so you can get a taste of the flavors from my time. Since it'll be my super secret ancient recipe, I bet you won't find anything like it in the whole Grand Bazaar. There's a new dessert that they call Patisara pudding. Who decided to create it? Shouldn't puddings be made with rice? These culinary innovations are really getting out of hand. Ugh. Thank you, but there's really no need to share it with me, even if you made it yourself. This is tastier than the food at the most historic establishments. Could it be that the culinary arts haven't stopped improving? The appearance, smell, and taste of this dish are all excellent. Do you read a lot of professional cooking books? This indescribable taste. Ugh. Are you trying to get me to figure out what this is? Happy birthday! Here's a small toy for you. It's an assembly of a number of miniature puzzle mechanisms. You can find a button and lever here, as well as a roller to the side. Just play with it however you want, and I'll take care of it if it breaks. And don't think I'm treating you like a child. Everyone, regardless of age, could use a moment of happiness and relaxation. Aren't you an energetic youngster? So enthusiastic, even about collecting materials.